So let's talk about this. It's heavily love and relationship focused. At the center of the spread, we do have here the King of Swords in the reverse position. This is you. And it's basically, you're right next to the King of Rods. And the King of Rods indicates passion. It indicates like our emotional needs and our, physical needs. Whereas the King of Swords indicates our long-term, planning, strategic planning. It deals with strategy. It deals with thinking about something on a very logical, in a very intellectual way. So already your heart and your mind are working at cross purposes with one another. And I feel like you're grappling with a major decision. Should I or shouldn't I? My heart wants this. My head wants this. Okay. And what's coupled up with that is the Lover's card. And the Lover's card usually indicates a relationship or a person that we feel very in sync with, okay? The Lover's card came out in the reverse position. So this is what I'm sensing for a lot of you. You have somebody that you have a very strong mental, emotional, and physical connection with. But I feel that your paths in life are not aligning. It's really frustrating, actually, because I feel like you and the other person, there's that sense of like, connectedness. There's that sense of like knowing one another in a previous time, in a previous life. It feels like that to me. It's like no matter what you do, circumstances around your environment will drive you apart rather than keep you together. And I feel like for a lot of you, this could be a fire sign or a water sign. I'm getting heavy water energy, especially like Pisces and Scorpio. Okay, so I have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and I have a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And what I'm feeling about this situation here is children being involved. Your children, their children, trying to work things out as like a blended family environment, or even like the love that you have for one another. I feel like it's very pure. It's very pure. No matter what, even if you don't come together, you both can still be friends. I feel like it's one of those things where you really care about the other person, and the other person is actually a very good person. They feel that you yourself are a very good person. So it's hard for you to let go of the passion that you have for one another, but also let go of the friendship. So no matter what, you're still going to be friends, is what I'm feeling. So there's this sense of like pure, innocent love. It's hard for this relationship to come together because I feel like your paths are converging. Okay, so once upon a time, the stars were aligned and your paths are converging like towards one another. You're supposed to like run into one another, and it was supposed to spark this great passion, this great love. And through the course of months and years, your paths are now starting to diverge. And I feel that it's going to take, a tremendous amount of, I guess, human effort to repair that rift or to make things come back together again. So I feel that, yes, the love is there, that sense of familiarity with one another, that sense of like really trusting the other person and, caring about the other person, and even liking somebody on a very human level, even after you might have broken up with them, for example. So I do feel that between you and another person, in this sense of like loyalty, the sense of like pure love is still there. But I feel that it's not in accordance with what you want out of life. And I feel that you're ready to, turn your back and move on because you want something a little bit more. I feel for a lot of you, you don't want to be stuck waiting for somebody who's indecisive, is what I'm sensing. Okay, you want like results. You want to make an action and then see immediate results. You don't want to be kept on the back burner. You don't want to have to constantly wait on another person. It's really frustrating for you. So I feel like you're coming in very passionate, very goal oriented, very directed this month, and you don't really have the patience. Or I feel for some of you, especially women, We do have the Empress in the reverse. So I almost feel this sense of like, your biological clock is ticking, or is it's ticking along, and you're just like, I don't really have time anymore. I really want something a little bit more solid, okay? So that pertains to women because, there is more of a biological stress factor associated with this here. So I feel like you're just tired. You're done waiting on people that, they care about you, you care about them, but they're just a little bit indecisive, and you can't really afford to wait any longer. You want certainty, you want clarity, okay? I feel like if you are dealing with a Pisces specifically, I feel that this person is going to come around. I mean, I feel that there's that, fire lit under them. And I feel that they're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to be indecisive anymore. I'm going to give you what you want. Or, they're going to at least decide on how to proceed ahead with you. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, I definitely feel that things are coming together. And it says here a big victory here with a Scorpio. They're going to make a gesture, and they're going to come around, and they're going to offer something solid. If you are dealing with a fire sign, they're still, so Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, they're still very much stuck on the past, and they hold a grudge, and I feel like they have trouble letting go. If you're dealing with a fire sign, for example, I feel like a lot of things have been said. A lot of, too much has been said. And it's hard to come back together. And I feel like there's still a lot of passion here. But in terms of emotions with the fire sign, it might have run its course, okay? And I feel that you feel it and they feel it as well, that, too much has been said. You have a very strong sense of chemistry with one another, but I feel like the love is dwindling, okay? And I also feel like you're not compatible. There's a lot of excitement, but you're innately not compatible. So I see them and I see you, and I feel like you're turning your backs on one another, which indicates to me two people who cannot make things work because on an innate level, on a core level, you're just not compatible. And I feel a lot of you might be dealing specifically with a Leo because Leo is your polar opposite. So I do feel that coming through. I'm getting like a major conception vibe with this spread. So for those of you who are trying, I definitely feel if you are specifically trying to get pregnant, to have a baby, I do feel that coming through in the picture for you for the next 2 weeks. And if you're not trying, just be very careful. I feel like so that's the main relationship focus, and I definitely feel there's something here that they're saying about a big victory here when it comes to love, because I feel like in the process of making up your mind and deciding, this person is indecisive, I can't waste any more time on this because for whatever reason that you have, I feel like it's lighting a fuse under them and is forcing them to step up and make up their minds, okay? So you're not waiting on them anymore, and because you're not waiting, things are coming to you. So it's kind of like when you keep pushing for a specific outcome, it just won't come in the manner that you'd hope. But once you relinquish control and once you let go a little bit, Aquarius, you're going to get the outcome that you want, okay? So at the bottom of the spread here, or the deck here, I do have the Six of Wands, which is a victory card. This is a card about movement forward. This is a card about like moving on, pursuing your career, making your career, your success, your worldly image or your public image, your top priority. That's going to go further for you. And I feel like that's what a lot of you are focusing on. You have like in the past taken a break from relationships and trying to work on other things, trying to bury yourself in work, trying to bury yourself in things where you reap tangible material rewards. And your public image is really outstanding for this month. People know that you're kind of like, you're not mincing words. You mean what you say and you say what you mean. And they know that there's this almost like impatient energy with you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't feel there's anything wrong with that. But people know that you're not one to be trifled with for this month because there's a little bit more like, I feel like a lot more energy with you guys, and you're impatient, okay? And you're not really going to put your life on hold for a person, and you're definitely not going to deal with people who are indecisive. If they don't really know what they want, you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do something else and occupy my time with something else, someone else, or something else, while you sit and mull that over. So just know that I'm not gonna wait for you. So I feel that energy coming through for a lot of you, and I don't feel that it's bad. I feel like this is something that you are implementing that you haven't done before, because before your energy was like solely directed at a specific person, at a specific project, and then when things don't go the way that you want, you keep pushing and pushing in that same direction. So for some reason, I don't know what's happening this month, you're taking a different approach, and I feel like that's going to be good for you, okay? For others, going back to the fire sign, I apologize for not getting this message out earlier. I feel like if you're dealing with a fire sign, there might be another person in the picture. So just something to keep an eye out for. I feel that they are righteous and honest. I do sense that. They really care about you. So it feels almost as if they don't want to let you go because they don't want someone else to be with you. And I feel like they're gonna say something similar in that manner. Like, I'm having trouble letting you go because I can't, it hurts me to see you with somebody else. And I feel like they mean it. So they might not be able to admit that in the past, but this is the time in which they're coming in and they're admitting that. And they, like they've got somebody else too that they're seeing. So it's not fair, right? So you have to understand what people mean, what people say, and the actions, and whether or not their words match up with their actions. So I feel like this person is not trying to be a hypocrite, but their actions prove otherwise. So you really have to understand, like, I don't feel this is a relationship that can be had in the future, mainly because you're not seeing eye to eye, you're not syncing up with one another, and specifically your value system are not in accordance with one another. So it's a little bit problematic to go down that same route and to rekindle that type of a connection, because I feel like you're wasting time. So once again, that element of time, the clock is ticking. Move forward, don't move backward, don't regress, okay? It is Mercury in retrograde, so it's an notorious time for past relationships to come back in, but I feel like you've got quite a few people in the picture. And go with the option that promises to give you what you want. Go with someone who is a little bit more directed as well and less indecisive, because I feel like as a fixed sign, you want things to be very black or white. You want things to be very like, yes or no. And these gray areas, these people that take forever to make up their mind, they frustrate you. And I almost feel like you telling yourself, I'm too old for this. So do as you wish, Aquarius, but I do feel there is going to be a victory had, because whatever's not working, you're no longer pushing. You're just going to let it ride out. You're just going to let it be. And I feel that you're going to be quite happy, okay? We are ending up here with the Magician. So it's a card about, somebody who is either a bachelor or a bachelorette. They are very well sought after. They have many suitors. They have many things, many projects on the table. So you're very busy with people and work. You're very, very busy the next 2 weeks, so keep yourself grounded. I also feel like I see you gathering something up in a pile and deciding to throw them away or to keep them. I feel like this pertains to physical things and people as well. So that's the energy I'm seeing, picking and choosing, deciding what works and throwing out or casting aside things that are not working. So it's a good energy for you, and it's a good time to wrap up projects.